Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
This is I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 16, Episode 12, Bathroom Hunties. This was a
super weird
episode.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the character drama,
Sure.
and this has been one of my favorite seasons, and I think it will be for that reason. I think the cast is stellar.
Yeah.
I think this has been excellent TV and reality TV. I haven't fully agreed with the order of eliminations and that stuff,
It's
but
really weird.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I found this challenge incomprehensible until we got to it. And then I was like, oh, because like even in our watch along, I was like, so it's like House Hunters, kind of?
Sort of. But I thought it was more of a bathroom renovation show. But then they just like built them beforehand. And Carson and Michelle were like touring these 3 different bathroom options for some reason.
Yeah, and I was unsure. And granted, we were talking a little bit through that part of the show, but still, I was sort of unsure as to what exactly the objective was. And I think all 3 teams did a good job, especially in that they presented something, and all of their work was enjoyable. It was amusing. I was amused.
Yeah.
However, I think very clearly Plain Jane and Safia were the only ones that succeeded.
Yeah.
Because I even said on our watch along, I was like, well, this is the only bathroom I would actually use.
Yeah. Well, and they also, it's like they used the like speakeasy part of it as like so there's just like booze everywhere. But there were 2 functional toilet stalls. There just happened to also be a glory hole in it, as opposed to like a toilet with, although the hell one, the toilet with spikes and then the out of reach up the wall toilet paper, hilarious.
It was funny, and it like that's an interesting take. But it like ultimately at the end of the day, for whatever reason, I just found the functional bathroom. There was, I the first 2 gave me too much anxiety.
Sure.
And again, entertaining.
Yeah.
But and just Safia and Plain just worked so well off of each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, as you mentioned several weeks ago, that Plain Jane is kind of terrified of Safia.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And not in the sense that I think that she's like intimidated. She will not challenge her the way that she'll challenge some of the other ones.
It's not that she thinks Safia is gonna hit her.
No.
Something. She just is like, it's a very it's like how we feel about the ocean, where I'm like,
it's very respectful.
I respect this.
And their shtick was really good. Safia's acting, she was cracking me up.
Well, and then it's like they called out Plain Jane's like physicality too, because it's, you know, Safia has this like incredible talent with the opera singing, and then Plain Jane's just standing over there with the triangle, like waiting for her cue. And I mean, amazing. Because it's like, if you can't live up to your teammates' talent, go hard the opposite way, you know, like go as far the opposite way as you can.
And because I did, again, I thought the hell one was amusing, and I thought that they did it was more like a haunted house, like it was more like a hell house. I thought what did they call it, the museum
for art
yeah. Again, I thought the premise of that was very funny, and I thought that the set and the shtick and everything they were doing was very funny, or again was very amusing. But it also was just sort of like, once it was over, I was like, okay, you know, I kind of...
I get it.
There was some behind-the-scenes stuff. Safia worked with Plain.
She's her own worst enemy.
She just baffles me.
Because she also knows it, but she's like, I've just been fighting against myself, and you were like, so stop.
Well, and it's just like, she actually pissed me off when she painted Nymphia and Dawn's set.
Yeah.
It did not feel in good fun to me. And I know they were laughing, and I don't know.
I didn't like it either.
I feel like she just always has to push it just too far.
I agree.
And it just, I don't know. It really annoyed me. But then when she had her like emotional moment, I was understanding and empathizing and connecting with her. And we need to get Safira like a talk show, like or something, because the way that she was like mothering all of them, she's been doing it the whole time, but particularly in this.
I think if she doesn't win the whole thing, I think
she's going to win the whole thing now.
But if she, on the off chance she doesn't, because I cannot predict this season for the life of me, I think she's going to get Miss Congeniality.
Well, I think, because we talked about it a little bit before, I think because we like the looks so much, we tend to overvalue the runways sometimes. And that, for me, that's where Nymphia shines. I think Nymphia is very good in challenges.
Not these ones, though. She's worse in these.
And frankly, the notion, because she got the critique that she felt like she needed to fill the air.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that just period. But then also when you have to, or when you consider that, you know, English is not her first language. She clearly has spent time in different countries and stuff. When you're trying to match different cultural, you know, tones and sense of humor, I can get how, if it's I can get the compulsion to want to fill dead air.
100%
with noise.
Well, because also it's like if you're, you know, because I, you know, you hear this from lots of people who also just aren't native to America, where it's like if we have such a different sense of humor than other countries, like even England. Yeah. And so like I can see somebody that's a little bit socially anxious that then does not understand the cadence of American comedy, that if they're hearing silence, they're thinking they're bombing, where it's just like we're maybe processing one extra layer or something, and vice versa too.
Yeah.
And so that I think is potentially working against her.
Yeah. And so in that regard, that's where I've like really, you know, come around on Safira, that I think she's the most well-rounded. I think she can like her comedic timing, the faces she was making every time that plane would say her name wrong, and how she just kind of had this like contemplating but
well, and also the pile of what was clearly supposed to be cocaine in the bathroom, and Carson was like, what is this? And she's just like, you know what you need to do with that, like, because that goes back to what we were talking about in one of the previous like improv challenges, where it's like she didn't yes and that, but she was like, it was like a however, like it wasn't like a no, but it wasn't a yes, and it was just like a
it's like improv, it's like advanced level to be able to turn it that way. Q is also, I think, much kind of like Plane. I think she can be her own worst enemy. She's really in her head at this point.
Yeah, and I am now seeing the seams in some of her challenges, because like the Stonewall brick or whatever was very funny, but then the next challenge they did, it was a very samey kind of character, and then this one is a very samey kind of character. And on the one hand,
and it's fine to have like a thing, like a shtick that you fall back on.
Exactly. On the one hand, if that's your character, then that's your character, and that's fine. But it feels like she thinks she's doing different characters, and it's not. You're not doing different characters. They're all the same character.
And like, I think we've said it a few times where we weren't talking about her, because I actually think she is very good at competition.
Yeah.
But also it's one of the reasons why I myself don't enter and get involved in competitions, because I know I'm not good at it. I can't handle it.
I can't handle the pressure.
And she was way too butthurt for too long in this episode.
Yes.
In the beginning of this episode. And
being butthurt is whatever. You can be annoyed that you don't think the person... You can be
disappointed.
That you don't think the person who won deserved to win. That's fine. But she really did let it go. And then, the doubling down on the, like, I don't think you deserved it. Where it's like...
It wasn't a good look.
It was not a good look. I'll stop.
I mean, they definitely came, you know.
Oh yeah, they came back around.
They came back around, but that was Safira's doing, though.
You know what I did? You know what I did love, though, that Q said is she was like, I should have phrased it differently, and she was like, well, I gave you the out to phrase it differently, and you didn't. And she was like, at the end of the day, it is what I said, but I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And I was like, I love that. Because it wasn't even like, I mean, these Vanderpump Rules people, sorry to breakneck into
You're
it.
really in the
I'm so heated. These Vanderpump Rules people are just constantly, it's like, it's as if they don't think that there are cameras following. Like, they've gotten so used to it, they don't think that they can just, like, pull past footage. But they're just, so many of them are like, straight up, I never said that. And then the production will be like, pull the footage and put it in the show.
I feel that way about politics. I'm like, we can see you.
It's ridiculous. So it's like, I appreciated that Q wasn't like, I would never say that. Paris is my friend. Like, you know? And it's just, I love that she was like, no, I shouldn't have used that word.
I don't
I'm
care
sorry.
for Job.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Ultimately, like I said, by the time we got to the challenge, it was amusing.
Yeah.
The runway was, well, so this was an interesting look from Ru. And
I'm having this thing where I'm sort of feeling like
she really likes this orange wig.
She does like the orange wig a lot, which is fine.
I like it too, but I'm not liking it with the dresses
that she's picking.
Yeah. And she also had this dial.
It was weird. It was
It
just
was
like
odd.
one, no chain, like a necklace. It was just like stuck to her, which again,
Yeah, but also I don't know.
but with this dress, like
it was fine.
I am confusion, but I have this feeling that something's going on with the like reality TV show editors of the world, and everyone is. I don't know what's happening, but all of the reality TV shows that I'm watching, I'm like, what is going on?
We also had not Cecily Strong or Casey Wilson as a guest judge. It was Mayan Lopez.
Yeah,
Mayan Lopez. She was good.
To me, just yassified Casey Wilson.
You were having, yeah. You were like, maybe it is Casey Wilson though.
It's not good.
Meanwhile, the name tag is right there.
Mayan Lopez. No, she was great. I really liked her. I just was
She was
like,
knowledgeable and personable.
Yeah, and I love the things she said about how Drag Race made her feel, and how like down deep in a hole she was, and it really helped bring her out and do all kinds of stuff. And I love it when these nepo babies dig on their parents, because her dad George Lopez was like, is this more exciting to you being a judge on Drag Race than having our own show? And she was like, yeah, having our own show was to get me here.
Was what got me to this point.
Yeah.
So the runway was chains, I guess. I think they usually phrase it a certain way, but let's see. This is Morphine.
Yeah.
This is probably one of my favorites of hers.
It's great.
I really, yeah.
I do. Maybe I wish that the like panty part was also like chained or had like beading or something on it, because it just feels so plain underneath all the rest of the glitz.
I do want a little bit more from it. I think one of my other issues with Morphine is I think that I think I always expect for her to do a little bit more. Like, we obviously know that she's the BBL queen, but I think maybe I want like more padding, or maybe I want bigger, or maybe like I want slightly more exaggeration from her.
I think she's the only one who hasn't. I kind of want tits.
She does. I mean, she wears the cutlets because she took it out and threw it at Maya.
But like maybe bigger cutlets.
I think that's one of the places for me where, because like I've said that she's one of the ones I've had a hard time connecting with, like really getting in, and this is the most that I've liked her.
Yeah. I like this look a lot. It's like generally, but it is also kind of back to the like, why is your flamenco dress unlined? Like, why aren't the panties like beaded or something?
Mm-hmm.
I do love the commitment of painting your entire self with gold glitter.
I didn't get this.
It's not for me. It looks great walking down the runway.
It's well made,
but it's whatever.
I understand.
It's cute. Sorry.
Yes, it is cute. She looks like a poodle.
Yeah, the hair is
I do not understand the wig.
I'm very baffled by the wig.
At all.
Also, she's done so many pants.
And she's done a lot of pants. And again, it's well made, and I think I get what she's going for. That doesn't mean that I like it.
Honestly, maybe if it was different colors.
Well, the black and red is kind of what I like the most.
Oh, yeah?
But I don't know. It's
not my favorite.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's certainly, I mentioned it was kind of like the purple thing she wore a few weeks back where we were like, I guess this is so good.
I like it. For me, it was, the more I saw it, the less I liked it.
Oh, okay.
Like, I liked it a lot.
Well, because I really like the wig with it too, and the cutouts and how
why does she have a sweatband though? What is this like sweat headband?
Oh, I assumed it was just more of like because it almost looks kind of, I don't know, like a mystical lady.
That's what I was getting at first.
Tarot reader or something.
But now it almost looks like a 90s hip hop. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I disagree.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, it's like
I like the cutouts.
Top 2 for me.
And I think her figure looks good.
Yeah. This too. I mean, fuck off.
It's very simple.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not.
But it's yeah, I don't know.
Like
it's Nymphia Wind.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, and the color,
yeah.
the impulse to go with the aqua, and then the little bits of like turquoise and teal and periwinkle, and like I don't know. When I said simple, I guess I mean elegant. Like I mean streamlined.
Well, I mean, because
there's a lot of detail. I'm not saying that it's simplistic.
But I mean, it is just like
it's a corset.
But all the accoutrements are so good.
Nymphia's and my style, fashion sensibilities are almost a perfect circle.
I agree.
And she can crack the whip. I love that the whip's blue. Yeah. Like the little attention to little details. This was Plain Jane.
Yeah.
I agree with Michelle. We actually said it before. You said it where you were like, it's good.
I've seen it before on her. The wig though is very cool. The like stripy lime green.
I think it's the best of this thing that she's done a handful of times. It's my favorite one.
I certainly like it better than the weird sex robot thing.
I hated that.
Yeah, it was really uncomfy.
But
which we're about to get to.
It also gives me Barbie.
Sure.
Or even is it Terry Mugler that did the one that Zendaya just wore to Dune?
I think so, yeah.
And Beyonce wore a similar like gold. I do like it, but I am a little bit like, oh yeah. Redundant, I think is
redundant is a good word.
Okay.
Okay. I can recognize the construction and the execution of this. I am so uncomfortable.
I kind of love it. The more time I spent with it, I don't feel like I've seen it before.
That's true.
And it meets, did we say Safia?
Yeah, it's Safia.
It meets the brief of chains.
It does.
Without just being chains.
I agree.
Like there's the thing where I'm a little bit the most put off is I thought it was a cow at first.
And so then she started barking.
And I couldn't figure it out. The more I looked at it, the squeaky toy, the fire hydrant, the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. And even the fetish boots, I don't know. I definitely understand how it could make you uncomfortable, but it's giving me more the Dean from Community, the awaken something in me.
Okay. That's a little helpful. Again, the construction, the execution, it fits the brief. Love all of that. I just like don't want to look at it.
I don't know, the panting, the two different color eyes. The more I looked at it, the more I was kind of like, I love this. Like, and definitely, and it kind of, I guess if Nymphia gives me what I want from a runway, the other, once that part of me has been satiated, the other part of me that needs nutrients is the show me something I haven't seen before.
Sure, that's fair.
I've seen things similar to this, but I actually really...
It's committed in a real way.
And the overdone lips, I kind of loved it. So, I don't know. I understand. Sorry, I've gone back to the challenge. I understand Nymphia's critiques in the challenge.
Yeah.
But I kind of couldn't get over
the
balloons.
Tits were
what did Mayan call them?
Funny. Baloobies? No.
Balloon beat. I thought it was Mayan, right?
Yeah.
Someone made a pun that I
Yeah.
really liked. Because it's one thing for them to be balloons, but I like that she had like quilt batting or like fluff in them. I don't know. Again, show me something I haven't seen before. It was
silly.
It was fun.
Yeah.
This was a fun episode. We even got like pit crews. One of them was
So
at
much-
half staff. Like
At least. I feel like he had to. I feel like it was in a coil in there.
This was a feast of an episode. There was plenty.
There was a lot.
So, okay, we should be back on time. This in 2 days.
Yep.
And yeah. Sorry, I was kind of sick and had to work. So